My name is Kim Howe. This is for Respiratory 251 for spring of 2023. I'm doing my checkoff on chest x-ray interpretation. So I will look at my patient's chart, look at their name, date of birth, and MRN number. I'm going to check my physician orders, my chief complaint, code status, chest x-rays, labs, and ABGs. I'll go ahead and wash my hands, get some gloves on, gather any equipment that I need for this, maybe some eye protection, splash precautions, artificial airways, ET tubes, anything like that. Go ahead and take those gloves off, and I'll go into the patient's room. Again, I'm going to wash my hands, get some gloves on. I'll ID my patient and inform them that I will be looking over their chest x-ray. So I would turn the light on, and I would put the x-ray over the light, and then I will start looking at my film. So this right here would be a posterior to anterior film, and that means that the beam goes from the back to the front. This next chest x-ray is an anterior to posterior, meaning that the beam goes from the front to the back of the patient. Right here we have on the left, this is going to be an underexposed chest x-ray, so it is radiopaque, very light. And on this side we have a overexposed chest x-ray, radiolucent. This next one, I'm going to go ahead and ID all of my parts of my chest x-ray. Let me grab my pen here. So this is my mediastinum. Right here is my trachea. You can see the spinal processes in there. The scapulae are over in this area here. The clavicles right here. And these clavicles do look good. My patient is rotated properly. The carina is going to be in here. And then my cardiac notch. And here is my cardiac border on this side as well. Right in here is my hilum. And you can see my pulmonary arteries. So here we have the ribs. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, I don't think you could see that. So, okay, let me start again. So right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Right here would be my costophrenic angle. Right there. This is my right hemidiaphragm. That is my left hemidiaphragm. You can hardly see this. Well, I guess you could see it on the phone, but this is my gastric bubble right here. And I think I said everything on that. Okay. So next we have pulmonary infiltrates. You can see them all throughout these lower lobes in here. Okay. Oh, and let me back up here. If this was more than half the border, then that would be indicative, for the cardiac border, that would be indicative of cardiomegaly. So you would see like an enlarged heart. Okay, and then this is the pulmonary infiltrates. And on this one, we have some atelectasis and consolidation going on up here. This next one, you can see these curly B lines throughout this x-ray. That would be indicative of pulmonary edema. On this one, you can see the air bronchogram. So this black line right here is indicative of an air bronchogram. On here, the left one just shows a normal diaphragm. You can count your 8 ribs. And then over here, you can count, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 ribs there, and the diaphragm is very flat, which is indicative of a COPD patient. So this would be normal, and that one obviously is flat, and then you have a lot more air space here. Okay. This one shows the diaphragm during inspiration. So the diaphragm contracts and then it goes down, and then the air fills in the lungs. And on this one, this is my diaphragm during exhalation. So it relaxes and then it ascends up towards the lung. Okay. This slide over here, you can see a pneumothorax. So you can see where it is dark around these edges here, and it should not look like that. That just means that there's air in the spaces. And then over here, you have a pleural effusion. So you can clearly see there's excess fluid here in this lung. You cannot see the claustrophrenic angle, but you can see it over here. So that would be a pleural effusion. That just means there's excess fluid between the layers of the pleura inside the lungs. Okay. On here, this is a female patient. I don't know why my phone is so zoomed. There we go. So here's a female patient. This is her breast, and this would be like your soft tissue, and you can see like your axillary masses in here. You've got some sub-Q emphysema going on. Okay. And you can see her gastric bubble really good right here. So let me also just note that in this dark areas here, that is air. And then fat would be like dark gray, which these little things here would be fat. That would be like fatty breast tissue. And then the soft tissue would be like the lighter gray. And bones are obviously white. And on my next, I think I have one coming up where I have a pacemaker, so the metal would be white, so that would be more like radiopaque. Okay, right here we have a patient who has a trach. And then over here, this is an ET tube, and you can see that it's 2 to 4 centimeters above the carina, and it is between T2 and T4. So it is in a proper position. And here's that cardiac pacemaker that I was talking about. Clearly you can see it looks like the same color as bone, maybe just more vibrant. So right here would be your atrial lead, and then this would be the ventricular. Okay. On this one, I have a chest tube in place, and it is between the 5th intercostal space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see that it is between that 5th intercostal space. Did I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so this is the 5th intercostal. So starting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. Okay, so I'll make sure I got it right. And on this one, it is a foreign body aspiration. Clearly you can see this big coin in this child's esophagus. So that's never a good day for anybody. So yeah, that's it. I would take my gloves off, wash my hands, and chart my procedure.